This is the Barstewards Inquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
And a massive warm welcome to the Barstewards Inquiry Weekend Podcast. This is the first of two shows we've got for you tonight. The first is covering the domestic action, the final flat meeting at Doncaster, and Aintree and Wincanton over the jumps. Joining me this evening for podcast number one is John Leng of John Joe's Blogspot, and Quentin Franks from Toronto, the tipster extraordinaire and Barstewards nap table leader at this moment in time. He's definitely, this guy is the real deal. Right, chaps. Obviously a busy affair. But John, you're going somewhere after this, I believe.
Yes, I'm attending a fireworks party at the Ginger Hitlers. It was arranged by a third party who got everybody together and said, we'll all go to the Ginger Hitlers. He's going to bring a fire pit and all the rest of it. And when this was announced to the Ginger Hitler, he said, well, that's all right. He said, but we're not having any fireworks because everybody round about's having fireworks. We can watch theirs. And the buffet tonight is comprised of stuff that we had at a barbecue at his place in May. And he's Rosie. He's some boy.
This, I think he's got his own fan club at the Barstewards as Ginger Hitler. We don't know why, but I mean, this sums him up to a T. I mean, John, incredible stuff. I mean, I hope you set off at 9:15 this evening and get there, and then leave at 9:30, something like that. You know? If
I'm not in bed for 10, I'm coming home.
Superb. Right, enough waffle. We're going to get on with the show, and there's just three of us on podcast one, and we've got our best bets of Saturday to begin with before we go through the terrestrial television races on Saturday at the end. Right, I'm going to come to Quentin first for his third best bet of Saturday on the domestic scene.
Perfect. My third best bet, it comes in the 15-10 at Doncaster. I've just seen the prices come up now, and King Alfred is the one of interest here. He's 11-4 he's been put in. I gave him a mention last time I was on the podcast and thought he caught the eye at Newbury. He was constantly hampered by the hanging octopus, which is Joe's chute trained. And he was forced onto the part of the track which seemed to be riding slower that day. The rear-posing Hebride's his favourite, which is no surprise. He came ahead of him. But Hebride's, or however you're saying it, was on the best part of the track that day. It looks a good moving son of Mema, so I'm not sure the soft ground is really his bag. I'd have them close together in the betting, and anything above 9-4 appeals on King Alfred.
Super stuff, and like you said, rightly point out, Memas has made a nice start as a freshman sire, but like you say, a lot of his progeny go better on better ground, and I think that's a very good case you've made. So King Alfred for Quentin is a 1-point win bet. I'm just going to check the odds right now. 11-4, so 1 point win, 11-4 for Quentin. That goes in the 310. At Doncaster, Holly Doyle on board. Good luck with that one, Quentin. Over to you, John, for your third best bet of Saturday's fair.
Yeah, somehow I managed to scrape up 3 bets for Saturday. It's in the November handicap, this one.
Okay. And
it's a little bit of a punt. The one I'm interested in giving another chance to is Deja of Peter Chapel-Hyams back off a break with the blinkers applied. Now, to me, this one would have sold last week at Tats and probably would have sold all right. But carrying on, I mean, they're giving me the impression there that they've got him sorted a little bit. I don't think the horse has been quite right this year. As a result, he's dropped a few pound, and I mean, he was quite well fancied for some races early in the season off his old mark. So I quite like the look of that. He'll handle the ground fine. PJ's an excellent jockey in these sort of situations, and I think at the likely price, there's nothing not to like about 28 to 1.
Interesting. Did they take him out of the sales then?
No. I mean, to me, I'd have just got rid. You know, and I think the fact that he's carrying on. I mean, I'm probably one of the few people in the country that still thinks Pete can train a bit, and I do think he knows what he's doing, and I'd like to see it win for him as well. He's one of the good guys, Pete. You know, I hope he's got the horse sorted, and I think it's worth a punt at about 28.
It's interesting because obviously the November handicap this year, I do think there's a lot of horses that haven't got much in hand of the marks, and
it's a flaky sort of race, isn't it? I mean,
and coming back to some of last year's glories. I mean, when he beat Larfy at Haydock, etc. That's a performance that puts him right there, and like you say, with the blinds to wake him up. That's good stuff. So Deja is John's third best selection, 28 to 1. Are we going each way a pleasure on this one?
I think we'd better, because it'd be 5 places, won't it?
Yeah, I'm going to give you. In fact, John, looking at the markets, do you want the 20? In fact, I'll give you the 6 places with Hills at 28. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it's 150 odds, 6 places. William Hill, Deja at 28 to 1 in the November handicap for John, and a very sporting play there if Deja comes back to former glories in the November handicap. Myself, I'm going to Aintree for my very first bet of the weekend, and it will be a lesser known trainer. Sam Allwood trains the horse. Aquila Sky, Harry Skelton in the saddle. I do think this horse is underrated by the market at the current prices. I was thinking this will be a lot shorter than the 10 to 1 that they've put him in at. He was very, very impressive in the spring when he beat Lord Accord. You could name him the winner a long, long way out. The horse was idling all the way down the straight. He's had one reappearance over fences, which he didn't jump. His technique looked flawed, and it wasn't the fact that he just ran bad. His technique wasn't there. So he could completely draw a line under that run. I'm amazed he's only gone up £4 for beating Lord Accord. And when you consider that Lord Accord, and he beat him absolutely on the Billy Idol, and Lord Accord since then went on and beat South Terrace, and then went on and won the very race that Aquila Sky tried to win over fences last time at Utoxeter. So the form is very strong. And I did a little bit of research on Pertemps qualifiers, and horses between 122 and 127, you'll make money blind most years. For the simple reason we know that in Pertemps qualifiers, a lot of the higher weighted horses tend to have spins, because everyone wants a mark for the race at Cheltenham. So yeah, the lower weighted horses tend to be off train for the live. So Aquila Sky is my third best bet of the weekend. 1 point win. I'm not going to go each way because it's one of those, let's say if I'm wrong and the horse isn't quite all there at the moment after his chase reappearance, I'd rather just have the win bet at 10 to 1. So a 1 point win for me at 10 to 1 Aquila Sky. Okay, we'll move on. John, I'll come to you now for your bet of the weekend.
Well, this is actually in the Breeders' Cup, Fillies and Mares Turf. And I've fallen for the patter of Harry Potter. And I'm very back in love in this. Daria hasn't been the same filly since Ascot, I don't think. She'll drop in from the 12 box. I can't see Ryan being so stupid as to sit second last. I think he'll ride her a little bit handy. It's a mile and 3. She gets the trip perfectly well. I think these are better than the American fillies. I kind of buy into Aidan's theories about certain factors not dropping her way in the last couple of races. I think giving the weight to that good filly at the Curragh last time wasn't a bad performance in the context of this race. And I think she can go out on a high here and win this.
So what? So loving the Fillies and Mare Turf tomorrow?
Yeah.
I mean, have you got 3 for Delmar on the second pod? You
Yes.
got 3 best bets? You have. Right, but this is okay. No, I'll allow that. That's fine. If that's totally fine. So basically, Love the Filly and Mares Turf tomorrow, which is the 8:59 at Delmar. John is going for 2 points win on Love, and looks hold an outstanding chance, to be fair. So yeah, all good. So Love is John's second best bet of the weekend. That is the 8:59 Delmar Saturday evening. And I'm going to give you, John, 7-2 for your 2 points win selection. Lovely job. Yes. Yeah. And over to Quentin for your second best bet of the weekend.
My second best bet of the weekend, I'm opposing John in going with one in the November handicap. I fancied Farhan in the Old Rowley Cup at Newmarket, and despite the form not working out with Saskani being beaten in the St Simon Stakes last week, 2 weeks ago, I still think it's a race that will work out well. The 7th has came out and won since. The 3rd, Candleford, was unlucky, undone by the pace at Kempton. It's just generally a race that works out well. He should get a strong pace to aim at here. I don't think the wide draw's a problem. I said to my friend earlier in the week that he's 16 to 1, 14 to 1. He probably won't get in, but he's worth a bet anyway. He's crept in as bottom weight. Softer ground will suit. We'll get a test at the trip here. Plenty of front runners on the cards. I just think he's a well handicapped horse. He's my second best bet. He's 10 to 1, and I'll probably make him favourite for the race. Nothing seems to have changed my opinion throughout the week on that front.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm gonna give Quentin there 10 to 1 each way. 6 places. You can get that with Paddy Power and Betfair. 6 places, 150 odds. 10 to 1 each way. Farhan, very consistent horse. Hollydale in the saddle, just snuck in there. Bottom weight on 23, the field size limit. A perfect result for connections of Farhan. So Quentin, like pointing out there, this form very solid. Good stuff there. So that's Quentin's second best bet.
Can I have it on the nose, Lee? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, of course, absolutely, yes. So that's it. That's the confidence. That's what we like at Barstewards. Forget this each way rubbish. It's a 2-point win bet. Quentin wants to settle the Naps table right here, right now. 10 to 1, 2 points on the nose. He's got that. That's the confidence of the man, and fair play. So 2 points win Farhan in the November handicap. That's the 240. Right, on to my second best bet of the weekend, and again we go twig hopping, and I'm very, very keen on this horse. It was very close to be my best bet. I'm very keen on the Nigel Twiston Davis trained Onchen in the 140 at Aintree. I think this is an outstanding bet at the prices. I've no idea why they've priced this up at 8 to 1. I'm still scratching my head in disbelief. The Twiston Davis yard were a little bit cool last year. They didn't get off to a good start, which they often. That's what makes a Twiston Davis season, when they get off to a decent start, because they like to prep the horses for October, November. Usually when the Betfair chase with Bristol Demai by 17 wickets, and I think sometimes when that happens and you don't get off to that flying start, I think the yard tended to struggle a bit more than they usually do all season. So I'm very keen on Onchen, first time over fences in handicap company, because this slab of a horse, if you just look at the pedigree, he's a full brother to Lord Windermere. He's a half brother to Sub Lieutenant. These are just like staying chasers, brilliant staying chasers. Gold Cup winner. It literally is, and I think he's got a wonderful handicap mark of 120. He's the right age, as we know. The late Trevor Hemmings loves a staying chaser. I know this is 2 mile 4, but I think that's fine. He had plenty of pace over hurdles. He was making the running at Ludlow, a flat track. I mean, Ludlow would not suit this horse. And I just feel over the fences first time, I think you'll see a much, much improved horse. And Twister's got a very good record with chasers first time in handicaps. Makes a lot of money to level stakes and has them well sculled, well weighted. good bet this at 7 or 8 to 1. Whatever happens, he's going to be winning off bigger than 120 this season. You can rubber stamp that. So take that, and it's a 2-point win bet for me. No messing from me either. No each way. No messing around. I think Onchen will probably go handy, try and make the running, and hopefully we'll jump them silly. That's my second best bet of the weekend. Okay, we're very close now to our best bets. Drum roll. Get your patents ready or lucky 63s, anything by the time we've finished with the Breeders' Cup. Nick Davis in the second podcast might have 600 selections and 47 reverse forecasts as well to boot. He's been studying for 6 months, so we expect Nick Davis to shine on pod number 2. So I'm going to come to who shall I go to? Quentin, I want to know your best bet on Saturday.
My best bet Saturday comes in the last UK race on Saturday, and it's at Chelmsford. It's the 18:30. I'm going to go against the grain here, and it could bite me in the arse, but I'm going to go with a hold-up horse trained by David Simcock around Chelmsford.
I can just see John now. I've got this mental picture of John sat now listening to this. Go on, Quentin, carry on.
The horse is Forge Valley Lad, and he caught the eye at Wolverhampton a month ago. Finished fast off a steady fractions after being held up. He got the 11.4 and 11.9 in the closing furlong. Finished with running left, like plenty in the tank. Like it was just a float up. Like it wasn't off that day. He comes here. There looks to be pace on the cards. You've got Engrave, Thunder Road, Headley George are likely to go forward. They've dropped him down a pound. He's on his last winning mark of 56. Thrasher Morris is on, so at least you'll get an all-action ride. The form hasn't worked out at all, but he's returned in decent heart. He's up half a furlong in trip. He's got a bit of scope and should come on for that first run for the yard and first run for 390 days.
Lovely. Great case. But I mean, we've got at least John. At least we've got Thrasher on this one.
Well, I had Thrasher on last week, didn't I? But unfortunately, I think he's back the winner.
So Quentin is going for his best bet of the weekend. 6:30 Chelmsford makes a very good case. Use the sectional timings, does Quentin. Again, a very, very useful weapon for us flat brigade punters. And he makes it, yeah, absolutely. So Forge Valley Lad is 11 to 2 with bet 365. Are you 3 points on the nose, Quentin?
On the nose.
On the nose, yeah. None of this each way nonsense. That true winners go win only. Nick Davis will tell you that in part 2. So 3 points for Quentin. Forge Valley Lad 11 to 2, 6:30 Chelmsford. Great reasoning. So we wish Quentin well with his best bet this weekend, but not too well because we need to knock him off the top of the table. John, I'm coming to you for your best bet of Saturday, please.
Well, I think the producer had better get the klaxon ready because it's Onchen in the 1:30 at the Aintree.
Oh, we could. I think we should do it. Yeah, that's it. This is klaxon time. We've got a Barstewards Special. The thing is, I think if Andy Richmond, we'll say Andy Richmond's on the show and he tipped it anyway. So we're going to go. This is a max bet. Onchen. John, have you got similar reasoning to me?
I can't really add much to what you said, but yeah, it's pretty much down the same lines. I don't think this horse is going to be a lot better over fences, and I think the mark of 120 is quite derisory. I could see this finishing mid-130s at the end of the season, so yeah, that will do for me today.
I think so, John. I think unless that horse has got problems, or there's issues, or mentally he's not right, which there could be arguments for that. It looked like he ran a bit strange.
He tell you if it was like that. I mean, all right, Trevor's gone, but the family have deep history with Liverpool. I mean, they don't want their horses running around here and getting lapped. Their horses tend to go well here for starters. The yard's in excellent form. This has to put a performance up tomorrow.
Yeah, I totally. As soon as I saw it, and I can't, I can't believe the evening prices. It's like, it's got to be a stone better over fences for me. At least, I mean, I'd be disappointed if this hadn't won off 120 by the time the see. Like I said, we could get it wrong tomorrow. It's just how it is. But so it's a Barstewards Max. It's a special. We can advertise that in the literature. We haven't had one for ages, so this is a Barstewards Special 140 entry Onchen, John's best bet of Saturday. And we're going to have that 8-1 that's available, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll move on to my. We'll move on to my best bet of the of the Saturday, and it goes back on the flat. At Doncaster, not on a television race. I do like to try and get television races for the best bets, because obviously it's nice to watch. Well, is it nice to watch ITV racing? I'm not so sure, but anyway. It's probably better listening on Betfair Radio. Anyway, 3:45 Doncaster is where I'm going for mine, and it's Gifted Ruler, trained by Tom Dascombe and ridden by Luke Catton. Now, first thing I like to see in these apprentice races, this is one that's not for apprentices, that's not ridden more than 20 winners. So I like to have a good look at the riders, because half of these literally can't ride at the moment. Johnny Pate can ride. He rides Broken Spear for Tony Coyle. Johnny Pate, a favourite of ours on Barstewards, so I'm not knocking him in one iota. But our rider Luke Catton on this one has rode 16 winners, so he's just nicely in the shouldn't be in this race kind of zone. He's Richard Hannon's apprentice, and you'd have to say Gifted Ruler on recent efforts has an outstanding chance. Very effective on the ground, really effective on the ground. Probably hasn't raced on this ground enough, to be honest, because he won his maiden on Haydock on heavy. He went to Deauville in a listed race, wasn't beaten far, only 2 lengths as a youngster. And then in recent times, he was second to Youngfire at Haydock on soft, and then third to Moll's Memory in a very, very warm Newbury handicap last time on the heavy ground again. So coming on the soft end, he's absolutely perfect. What I like about it as well is the pace setup. There's a strong pace setup. There's a real strong headwind at Doncaster tomorrow. So what's your punting tomorrow there? Don't back the blasts off there. No good. You need the hold up, the cover rides, and this is drawn high. You should get a lovely toe into the race, and I cannot see this not going close, with probably one of the better riders in the race. An amazing 11-1 available each way with 5 places. So I'm all over this like a rash. It beats it. That's the only reason that the Aintree horse that me and John have gone on special on, he's not the best bet of the weekend, because this is better. 11-1, 5 places. It'll travel like a dream. It'll travel all over them. This is a slight drop in grade, and it's just, hopefully the lad will produce it at the right time, and we can all go into the Breeders' Cup night cashed up and ready to attack the second part of the pod that comes up in a bit. So, Gifted Ruler is my 1.5 point each way. I've not got as much bottle as these guys, but I think that's the angle. Each way a pleasure. I cannot see this horse getting beat far. If it's beat, it's just by one of them, unlucky factors. So, Gifted Ruler, 1.5 points each way at the 11-1, 5 places. Thank you very much. So that covers off our best bets of Saturday. Right, chaps. Before we obviously head off into the TV races, is there anything else that catches your eye Saturday, just out of interest, or any interesting talking points for our punters for Saturday?
I'm looking forward to ITV getting stuck into Randox tomorrow.
That's about a million, isn't it?
I can see you, John, in the morning, and if anyone hasn't followed John on Twitter, he's the screaming Kilton John Joe Lang on Twitter, and he's very funny. He will probably start attacking the morning show when Randox isn't mentioned at some point, but that's what you get off the mainstream anyway. Right, we'll go on to the TV race, and we start off with where should we start off? I know we'll start. We'll start off at Aintree, and we'll go to the first TV race at Aintree, which is the 108 race. So I'm going to sit this out because I've had a bet. Have any of you two looked at the 108 at Aintree?
I have not.
No, John?
I looked at it. I couldn't make head or tail of it. No, honestly, I was quite grateful thinking you would have a bet. To be honest,
we need Andy Richmond for his monologue on.
One that did catch me either, I thought was suspiciously short in the bet, was Pillion.
Well, you should listen. This horse really is absolutely thrown in, John. When you think, I know I've tipped in the race and I've not gone with it. This horse was second to Indefatigable at the Martin Pike at the 2020 festival. I mean, that form's just different class, is it not?
It is really. I mean, and back off 132, you'd think, well,
yeah,
definitely of interest. I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's run since then. I haven't exactly got the juices pumping, have they? You know, I mean, I suppose you could say the hike, the £5 hike up the handicap on this. You know, I mean, it shouldn't have made that much difference going up £5. It appears to have killed it. And here we are, 5-1 for quite a tiny race, you know. I mean, last time out, it's last of 12, 8 and 42 lengths. I mean, somebody thinks this horse is on song now, don't they?
Well, it's the four wheels bet, I think. You know, the old four wheels angle. If the four wheels are on pile-on tomorrow, then we might as well pile on.
Do you think he's more one for, like you mentioned on the... Yeah, you wrote about it earlier in the week about Hobbs. Maybe it'll be a float up, and second time might be the time to catch it. Or do you think it's kind of he's been wrong and today's the day? Like this is the only chance to have it right off or have the horse right.
Could well be. I mean, the thing is, I always say trainers are creatures of habit, and I always say that trainers will have training methods and that obviously suit their weight and targets. And would this be a target? I think they'll want to get this horse back on track. And I think as long as they see a great run, like second or third, even winning, whatever, but they'll want to see it. They'll want this horse. They're concerned why this horse has gone backwards. I bet they can't believe it, how backwards it's gone. So imagine, like, as an owner, if I owned this horse, I'd be thinking, if I could just run well tomorrow, it would be a great platform for the rest of the season. So I wouldn't be a short price taker for sure, but I can see the reasons why it is short. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to the Grand Sefton, which is our second race at Aintree on the telebox, which is over the Grand National fences. So you might get a few Petter banners on beaches. You might get a streaker on the pitch at some point, or some animal rights rammel on the pitch. John, did you have a look at the Grand Sefton?
I'm very disappointed, actually, that Emma Lavell's not running Man of the Mountain, is it, or something? I'd have been all over that if that had been declared for this. It had a lovely profile for this race, I thought, but there you go, they don't run them for us, do they? It left me thrashing about a bit, to be honest, with not running.
Well, I thought Hogan's Height was interesting. Obviously, a previous Grand Sefton winner by 16 lengths off 134. And then, again, we've got strange handicappers in the UK because this horse then ran over hurdles across country in the Grand National and then hurdle race. And then it found its mark dropping from 145 back to 138. No one can work it out. So if Hogan's Height, Jamie Snowden's in good form. Hogan's Height, Polygon Drake won for the girls again, great for TV, etc. The old 10-year-old has done it before. Can it do it again off 138? That'd be my choice. Quentin, any thoughts?
I didn't even look at it. I've looked at one of the jumps races on the card. I've actually got a strong opinion in that, but not the Grand Sefton, no.
No. So I'm going to go with. I think Snowden's the best plot for punters. Really, I think that could run really well. Back over the national fences. Okay, we go to the 150 at Wincanton, which is the Rising Stars Novices Chase, and a big non-runner Brave Man's Game would have been about a 5-2 on shot. It's nice of them to have pulled it out the day before and not 15 minutes before the race like Gary Moore does. And cashing on the lovely Rule 4 bonuses with the books. But anyway, that's another subject. I shouldn't be saying this really. They'll shoot me for this. They'll send around it like Get Carter, won't it? Send some people around. Anyway, 150 Wincanton. Did you look at these novices, chaps?
I did. I think it's quite tight, really, between the three highest rated horses. At risk of sounding fairly boring, I think possibly I'd tend to go with Favoire, is it?
Favoire of Dan Skelton's, Bridget Andrews.
Ahead of Mick Pastor. I'm not over keen on chasers with plenty of accoutrements added, such as hoods, tongue ties, and stuff like that. I always tend to favour the one without on, and I'd at a push I'd go with Dan's horse.
Good stuff. Favour for John. Quentin, anything in the Rising Stars?
I would follow John in.
Yeah, on Favour. Yeah. I thought Mick Pastor could be something quite special, and I think I'd be with Mick Pastor because he does bleed, and he has bled in the past, and that's the one thing that always. It's a horrible race when Mick Pastor runs because you're thinking, well, if it reoccurs, you're taking short prices, and it's never nice. When they do have like issues, and obviously things are really good with Mick Pastor at the moment, so brilliant on that front. But like I say, it's not really a betting race for me. But the star attraction is out in Brave Man's Game. I was told that Paul Nicholls was in the clerk of the course's ear at Wincanton to put plenty of water on. I don't know if that's whether the clerk's been listening or what's happened. I don't know, but Brave Man's Game and I'm running 225.
We should give the clerk a job as a consultant at £500 an hour. For as much as you want on them.
That's a great plug, really. Tune in to the Sunday sermon. John's got a rather lot to say on this week's events regarding a certain Mr. Patterson. Anyway, on to the 225 at Wincanton, which is the Mares Handicap Hurdle, and it's an interesting race. It's going forwards because I think this will be one of the key races for a few Mares races going forward this winter. Did you guys have a chance to have a look at this?
I had a look at it, but my views on Mares Hurdles and chases.
Gin and Pate.
I'd much rather have an eye gouged out than even think about getting involved.
You might have some of the Ginger Hitler's barbecue from last night when this was going on.
No, I'd rather just sit and watch it decompose.
Okay, fair enough. Quentin, any of you on the Mares Handicap Hurdle?
Yeah, not quite as extreme as John, but I'm in the same boat. It's not my bag.
No, I mean the one thing I felt here, there's a mare I think that for punters to follow this season, Impressive Lady, trained by Sue Gardner. Well, I mean this horse has had to endure Lucy Gardner on board all last season, and was very progressive, very solid form, second to Molly Ollie's Wishes. Well, you saw what Molly Ollie's Wishes did at Wetherby on Saturday, and this mare, ran very, very well in that race behind that, and ran well in the Mares final, really, not beaten far behind Sexy Lot. But Sue Gardner's terrible off absences. So if you're thinking of betting this mare tomorrow, I'd probably just wait until the ground gets softer and it's had a run, because Sue really is very poor off absences. So, but Impressive Ladies, one for your trackers and notebooks, I felt there.
Are you going out disguised as Stopper Dunn or something? I mean, super critical of the lovely Lucy Gardner, are you? She's ridden the horse 4 times. She's won twice. 2 other times in the last 6 runs, she was replaced, first of all, by the great Jack Chowder, who got it by 21 lengths, and then by the great Jack Foley, who got it by 7 3/4 lengths. And it's been nearer every start for Lucy.
I'm bringing some. I'm bringing John. I'm bringing some balance to the force. Really. I mean, obviously, we're now down as a pro Bryony podcast. So I'm having to as host. I'm bringing balance to the force. So Lucy Gardner off and Sean Houlihan on is maybe a fair angle. I don't know really. Anyway, 3 o'clock Wincanton. It's the Badger Beer handicap chase, which is the feature race of Wincanton every year. And I'll pass on my thoughts. El Presente won the race last year, and I did feel that this horse had a real big squeak because I've mentioned this before about Kim Bailey's Wind Doctor Wind. It's like that bloke that comes out of the floor in Live and Let Die. And it's his Wind Doctor's one of the finest in the game, I believe. And his record off Wind Doctors is tremendous. So I think with David Bass, you know what David Bass is like from the front. Come on, riding away. I thought El Presente could definitely go close to following up this year. As I said, Kim Bailey's Wind Doctor, he's definitely, whoever he uses, is very good. Thoughts on this, please?
His Wind Doctor's like the bloke off Live and Let Die.
The man.
What the hell does he do? Sacrifice a chicken?
The man that can never die. What was it? Baron Samdi. Baron Samdi. That's it. Yeah, the man that can never die. Or was that Dr. Kananga? Dr. Kananga. That was yeah.
He'll be down. Yeah. He's listening to this.
It's gin time. It's gin time.
It must be. I thought Potterman runs quite well round here. I don't think it's brilliantly handicapped, but I could see it running reasonably well. I mean, was it second in this last year?
Yeah, second to El Presenter, yeah.
I could see that going well, 9-1.
Yeah. So Potterman for John, El Presente for me. Quentin?
I quite like both the cases you guys have made. I'll follow one of you in when I have a look through the race a bit more, but nothing from myself.
You like the Live and Let Die case, Quentin, don't you?
I did like that case.
Right, yeah. So we're all good there. Wincanton, have we finished? We can now move on to the true racing, really. The Doncaster meeting.
And we got the other hurdle at Wincanton.
I forgot that one. The elite hurdle. Yes,
the elite hurdle.
Yes, the small matter of the elite hurdle at Wincanton, the 3:35 race. Goshen, I believe, I am told that if the ground's too quick, they might not run. So that's a bit of info for the Barstewards listeners. If that affects your play, I don't know. Thoughts on this, guys?
Goshen's a tosser, isn't it?
Quentin's going to tip it.
That's kind of ruined my speech about the ground for Goshen. I didn't know that. I was keen to place lay him, to be honest. He's got one big figure here in the soup. He's a soup monster, isn't he? He's just a right-handed soup monster. He doesn't want good. I think it's good to firm on the chase track there at the moment in places. I'll be keen to place lay if they run him. He'll be skinny enough. You've got, hopefully, Belfast Banter's got the good carrots in him now. He's come back to the UK. You've got enough running for you to take him on. Two places, yeah. That'd be my angle into the race. So Royale looks the one to beat here, doesn't he? But no, Goshen's plenty short enough here on decent ground.
Yeah, I think the angle is if you can play the rule fours, and work out your positions with the bookmaker. If you're fortunate enough to get on with the bookmakers, I think that's your angle. Because I'm pretty certain. I can't be certain, but I don't think Goshen will run. I've just got a feeling they'll have another race in mind. They want to probably run at Kempton over Christmas in the Christmas hurdle. So, but again, will it be soft ground there? I don't know. But anyway,
I think anybody wanting to call this an elite hurdle it's a very good advert for our upcoming Road to Doncaster series.
It is, John. It's a good point. I mean, it is a disappointing. It is a
Seven
disappointing.
runners, you know. I mean, it just makes you feel nauseous at the thought of this tripe every Saturday for the next 6 months, doesn't it?
For sure. Yeah. Right, Doncaster. We'll do the. I mean, I can't believe there's only 3 races at Doncaster Saturday. No, it's 4. They're doing the 125. Oh no, 3. Yeah, 3. Jesus, I thought it before. So 125. It's the Virgin Bet Handicap. Over 7 furlongs, 18 runner affair. Any view here, Quentin?
Yes, nice view. I'm quite keen on Boardman there. They put him in, 8-9 to 1. I'm surprised he's not a fair bit shorter than that. Like you said, headwind at Donny tomorrow. You don't want to be blasting off round there anyway. High draw is certainly beneficial. He went a lot better than the result last time out. He was kind of away from the action when at York you needed to be far side, outpaced, tap for toe, and he just went like 7 furlongs would suit. He's got winning form over 7 already. I'd have him a chunk shorter than that, to be honest. There's not masses of depth to it. Tom Frey's gonna set it up hopefully for a closer, and hopefully a closer is Boardman.
Yeah, no, it's a good case. I mean, like I said, Boardman loved the ground. Probably get the right trip as well, like you say. Good points there, Quentin. John?
I thought Bernardo O'Reilly was, well, everybody seemed to say it last time, was pretty unlucky at Newmarket. Probably ought to have won. It ought to go close here. It doesn't scream bet to me with Dwyer on it, because nothing he rides ever screams bet to me.
Thick Dave.
I know. I'd much rather have seen Thick Dave on it than the bright boys from the world, but there we go.
Good stuff. So, I mean, for me, I agree with what Quentin said. I think Boardman, is worth a small interest. I think, for reasons Quentin said, I think this horse is well enough weighted, still off 91. I think he's going to have conditions bang in his favour. So yeah, I'm a Boardman fan also. In that 7 furlong race. Mention for Young Fire though as well of O'Meara's. That's got form with the selection Gifted Ruler. That's why I think Gifted Ruler's a good bet, because that's a weaker race than this. That's why I think Gifted Ruler's a tremendous bet later in the card. Move on to the 205, the Virgin Bet Wentworth Stakes, 6 furlongs listed race. Me personally, I'd be all over King's Lynn with a better draw. I'm not sure Stall 1's the place to be. That's the direction of the wind. Southwesterly is sort of like, I'd say about 3/4 headwind coming from that direction. So Stall 1, you've got to then move across immediately to get cover. And then at 3 to 1, that doesn't appeal. So it's kind of a bit of a quandary for me, because I think King's Lynn would win this, given the right run of the race, but I'm not sure it'll get it. John, thoughts?
My figures conflict somewhat with the official ratings here, and I think there's certain angles of form where you can get Makana within about £3 of King's Lynn, and I think if this one puts its best foot forward, given it's drifted from an opening 16s to 28, which is doubtful, given the connections, because I do prefer to see horses from this yard hold their own in the back. I am concerned at the drift, but I think this will be run to suit. I didn't think this got the best of rides last time, and I think that it can certainly improve on this rating of 99 that it's got, and I think it's interesting at 28.
Good stuff. So Mackinac for you, John. Hopefully the step up in trip also might suit. It's not done it since it won its maiden over 6 furlongs, but interesting they're back over 6. So good shout. Quentin?
Can anyone work out why Haggis is blowing this mark of 83 on Tarib?
No.
Like it's a very un-Haggis thing to do, isn't it? Like normally if you got a mark, you'll go handicaps, but I just don't really get it. I don't fancy the horse at all at the price, but I was just wondering if you had any input on that.
No, it's interesting because, you know, Haggis from time to time has. I don't regard him as a tilting at windmills. He's not a Clive Britton. He's not a Mick Shannon. He's not. You know, it literally is.
It's a winning filly out of a pivotal mare, isn't it? I mean, it's probably away to the paddock, so it'll be a fair old Potter's, a bit of black tape, I suppose. Ready,
I mean,
ready to pick up the bits and hope for the best.
I think that's it. I think the thing is, I mean, the pedigree obviously cost $1 million guineas as a yearling, and it's a half sister to the dam itself was an unraced sister to Halfway to Heaven. You know, Group 1 winner. So maybe like John says, maybe this is just like a God. Can we grab some black type here? You know, I think that's how I'd see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go on to the November handicap and the 240, and I believe you two chaps have had Quentin. Did you give a selection in the 205?
Yeah, Farhan, the John Butler's horse.
No, in the 205, the Wentworth.
Oh, did I have a selection? Sorry. Not really. It was a tough race to bet in. I'm ummed about. Well, I'm still umming and ahhing about playing Mole's Memory. Big figure on the clock last time out. Race should be run to suit. Ground suits. Kings Lynn's best horse in the race draws a concern. Magical Memory, Magical Spirit even. It's got a couple of figures that put him in the mix, but I don't know. Handicap step up to this. To cut a long one, no.
Okay, so we'll move on to the November handicap, and you two chaps have got selections in the race. So I just thought I'd have mine, which is a bit obvious, but I just feel it cannot not run its race. Call in the Wind, I think it's a very improved gelding. It really has made a lot of strides late season. I think everyone was gobsmacked when it was sort of second to Macram at Newbury over the 1.5 miles, when it was clearly, even the trainer stated, this is just preps for the autumn staying handicap, the Cesarovich. So the fact that it ran second was obviously a big surprise, and I think that's a measure of the horse. The horse has improved a lot, and I thought Calling the Wind with Spencer, it's the right track for Spencer. It's the right pace setup for Spencer, and I thought Calling the Wind would run really well. But again, it's priced accordingly. Not really probably an interest bet from me, if anything. Calling the Wind in the November handicap. So that's to round off the first part of the show. I hope you all enjoyed the input. We've got a Barstewards Special. What more can we say? Quentin's nap looks very interesting over at Chelmsford. And some great input there. So I hope you find you back some winners from that. And that's all from us. And don't forget to tune in to our Breeders' Cup special, which was covering the Breeders' Cup night. It's going to be good. That's all from us. Bye for now.
Right, the show's over, boys. Thank you very much.